So we're currently at day 324, or give or take a day or two, depending on when you're watching this video, of the great Grand Theft Auto 6 information drought. The wait for the game has already been brutal. I mean, it's been 13 years since GTA 5 launched, right? That's a long wait for anything, but especially for a new GTA game. And it seems like the wait might finally be over. But still, the lack of information, like any official updates or communication about what is even going on, is getting rough. The GTA fanbase was already a little weird on their best days, but in times like this, they are desperate for any scrap of news that they can get their hands on. Everything out there feels like it's like a hint or a clue or a possible sign that maybe this is when Rockstar will finally emerge from their cave and tell us that there's gonna be an early spring or something. That's a Groundhog reference. I don't know if everyone's gonna get that, but look, people are combing through PlayStation title IDs and digging through job listings and speculating about gaps and updates from the Rockstar Newswire. Fans need a new trailer ASAP because clearly they're thirsty. The lack of news from Rockstar is getting to people's brains. But you can't blame them for trying to figure something out at this point because we're now, just about 6 months away from what has got to be one of the most highly anticipated games of all time, and we still don't know a lot about it. There's a lot that can be inferred from the trailers, but very little actual official info. The best we have to go on is some character bios and some location descriptions on the game's website that dropped a while back. All this stuff actually came out back in March of 2025, and that's the last we heard about this game. Yes, it's been a year. I know it doesn't feel like it, but yeah, it's a game everyone is talking about, but nobody really knows anything about. So of course, speculation and conspiracy-brained ideas, is going to start to run wild. In the absence of any real GTA 6 info, the void tends to be filled with nonsense. So the closer we get to the current release of November 19th, the more we've just got to ask, where the hell is GTA 6? No, seriously, where is it? And what's taking so long? Well, looking back to the lead up of other Rockstar games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5, it tells us a couple of things. For one, we know that modern day Rockstar likes to reveal their games close to the release date. So on October 16th, 2016, Rockstar first teased Red Dead 2, and the game was out just a little more than 2 years later on October 26th, 2018. And that was after 2 major delays. So the original launch was going to be less than a year from that first reveal. Grand Theft Auto 5 was pretty similar, with the game getting a surprise announcement on October 25th, 2011, and then launching around 2 years later on September 17th, 2013. Now, between that launch and announcement, we got 2 official trailers in the first year and a blitz of information starting in April that continued up through September. Remember those little gameplay breakdown videos like in Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto 5? Those were great,
With Grand Theft Auto 5, Rockstar have tried to reimagine the open world game in a number of ways.
And in terms of that release pattern, Red Dead 2's trailers followed that same type of pattern. Like the first trailer, October 20th, 2016, followed by a second trailer, September 28th, 2017. May 2nd was trailer 3, alongside the first major previews for the media, and then a general blitz of information leading up to the October 26th release date.
With Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar Games aims to create a living world that's not simply open, but deeper.
Come on! That's the Rockstar and Take-Two format. They reveal the game a year or two early with some cinematic trailers. Then by April or early May, they start dropping the more substantial, detailed trailers, followed by previews that contain some more specific information about the game, which then finally launches sometime in fall. Now, look, the timelines don't totally match up with what we're seeing with GTA 6, but the overall format does seem pretty similar, with 2 cinematic trailers released so far, with more substantial trailers, presumably coming later, closer to the final release date, I'd hope. Like GTA 5 and Red Dead 2's trailers, the first 2 trailers for GTA 6 give us a lot to chew on, but there's still a lot of stuff that is unanswered. With GTA 6, we're getting a 3-year buildup, which does make the wait even more excruciating. That's why it feels long. The first trailer launched December 4th, 2023. And Rockstar released it a day early because a poor quality version had apparently leaked online before the official one. Now, that second trailer, which ended up being the biggest video launch of all time at the time, receiving 475 million views in just 24 hours. And while, again, it's been surpassed by that latest Spider-Man trailer, which does look awesome, that's still like an insane record for a video game trailer, man. It feels like there's been a real drought of updates from Rockstar because it's taking a long time. There's just no talking around that. Like all of their recent game releases, this is by far the longest from announcement to release. For GTA 5 and Red Dead 2, they released trailer 2 sometime in the late fall and then started putting out more in-depth coverage around April, May. With GTA 6, there's been nothing, zilch, since like May of last year. So the lack of updates from Rockstar really, I guess, come all down to the delay. I believe they're sticking to their usual formula here, but the big delay to November 2026 maybe, altered that original plan a bit. Now, they could have drip-fed us teasers and little tidbits of information to hold their voracious fan base over until it came time for the next trailer, but Rockstar knows that they don't need to do that. They don't have to do this stuff to build up hype. They also probably know from experience that revealing too much too soon isn't always the right call with games like this. We've seen more than enough examples of games in the past that revealed themselves too soon and ended up garnering a lot of unnecessary controversy and resentment in the gaming community. I think Rockstar just wants to avoid that type of scenario as much as possible. Now, with all that said, I do think that soon, maybe pretty soon, we're maybe going to find out more about this damn game. For one thing, Take-Two's CEO, Strauss Zelnick, has explicitly stated that there will be a big summer marketing, quote, blitz. And in so many words, he stated that the highly anticipated trailer 3 would maybe come out between April, June 2026. Look, while Zelnick can definitely talk a big game, there is some precedence here that could mean that we're, finally getting the third trailer, and it could even be earlier than anticipated. The next Take-Two earnings call is expected to go down between May 13th and May 21st. And historically, any new announcements regarding GTA 6 kind of tend to fall right around an earnings call. It's like clockwork. The first time GTA 6 was even mentioned was on February 4th, 2022. Just before quarter 3 2022 earnings call that occurred on the 7th of February 2022. On the 8th of November 2023, Sam Houser announced the first trailer, which just so happened to be on the same day as quarter 2 2024 earnings calls. The first delay to May 2026 and GTA 6's second trailer dropped about 2 weeks before the May 2025 earnings call, and they also announced the second delay on Twitter the same day as the Q2 2026 call. Now, that doesn't mean that they're always going to announce something in and around one of these earnings calls, but it does mean that if they are going to announce something, then it's probably going to be closer to one of these calls. We know that Rockstar is probably planning to announce something soon. Like I said, Strauss Zelnick, CEO, has said it, and all precedent points to a trailer coming out sometime around-ish summer. So I don't think it's unreasonable to think that there's a very real possibility that the third trailer might air sometime in May, at the very least to coincide with the start of Take-Two's new fiscal year. That being said, take this all with a grain of salt. All this is speculation on our part, and we've been wrong in the past. We're just having fun. All this is educated guessing. But still, if this does happen, if we do get a new trailer soon, after that, I do expect the floodgates to finally open. News, maybe some previews. We'll probably get a full-on gameplay trailer, I'd hope, in late summer or early autumn, like right up before release. Hopefully a full GTA 6 online reveal or some sort of information about that close to the final release, because we know nothing about the online component. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of GTA Online or anything, it's still a huge component of these games. A lot of people play that, so we got to know what the deal is. Are they going to release it like they did with GTA 5 in a staggered fashion, or what? And how are you guys feeling on the whole release date thing? At this point, it does feel like it's pretty likely that November 19th, that release date will hold firm, but anything can happen. It is possible that the game could get pushed back to 2027. I mean, November 19th is pretty late in the kind of end of year, in the fall holiday release cycle. And if it does get delayed past November, that would throw all these predictions way off. If there is a delay, at least we can expect to maybe hopefully get a trailer 3 along with it as like a mea culpa. They did it with the last delay, at least. So while delays are always possible and you're gonna see headlines fly to scare you and get you to click, it could go either way. It's just as likely that the game will be coming exactly when they said it would. But like if that happens, then you can expect like 100% to start seeing a whole lot more about the game soon. Because the Rockstar Games advertising is always cool. It's always this big thing on its own. And I think the exciting thing is really just when we finally start to see what exactly the hell this game is gonna be. Like what really does a next-gen Grand Theft Auto that's been worked on forever actually look like? What do you do that's different? How many characters do you even play as? How are they pushing the technology forward with the graphics? We've seen that a little bit, but most importantly, how are they pushing the fun factor ahead? How are they advancing the capacity for play, the capacity for fun? Now, if you absolutely have to know what's going on with GTA 6, then the 2022 leaks are still out there, but like those were pretty early on in the process, and that stuff is always subject to change. The game entered full production in 2020, apparently, and we don't know how far their vision has changed, like what has really changed throughout this whole thing. We know for sure a couple of things. The game stars these two characters, a kind of Bonnie and Clyde couple who live in this great state of Leonida. This is GTA 6's version of Florida, a fictionalized version. There's gonna be heists, there's shooting and driving, and comedic side characters. Surprise, surprise, this is Grand Theft Auto stuff as hell, man. Like, this is the first GTA game, though, since the original, I believe, to not be written or like worked on by Dan Houser, who left Rockstar to do his own thing back in 2022. Apparently, there will be a bank heist gone wrong that involves like this statewide conspiracy. That's kind of like putting together the dots of the trailers. So far, again, very GTA, with maybe a hint of Red Dead 2 in there with camaraderie and the game apparently starting maybe with some kind of botched heist. The fact that we see one of the main characters in jail the first time we're introduced to them, like in the world with these trailers, that's definitely worth noting. Look, it goes without saying that at this point, the game looks incredible visually. The scale and detail in every frame from those trailers that we've analyzed and poured over, it all looks awesome, staggering. Rockstar's perfectionist tendencies are in full display here, and it's a big reason why so many people are so excited to learn more. Nobody does an open world like Rockstar Games. So, look, for you patient folks out there, the question, where the hell is GTA? It seems like if we're just reading the tea leaves and educated guesses, it seems like it may be answered pretty soon. I can like get a whiff of it in the air. It feels like sooner than you even think, but anything can change any day now. And Rockstar does their own thing. Love them or hate them, they march to the beat of their own drum, and honestly, they keep us on our toes. So let us know what you think. I'd love to know what you think about like where it's been, the whole release schedule, when you think we're gonna hear more. Honestly, we just wanted a good excuse to yap about Grand Theft Auto today, because it's been a while, and we like doing that. Yes, it's absolutely a big, mainstream, silly AAA game, but it's one that moves mountains, so we can't help but be fascinated by it. Let's talk in the comments, anything Grand Theft Auto 6 at all. Strauss Zelnick, Rockstar Games, Sam and Dan Houser, GTA 6 leaks, possible plot speculation, anything at all. Let us know in the comments what you're thinking about on this one. If you like talking games with us every single day, clicking a like button legit helps us out. Thanks. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.